Hi y'all, welcome back. This is Cooking with Habitable Spaces. We culled a chicken yesterday.
Yes,
it was an amazing lesson to learn. And it will be posted at Tripping with Trip on the Facebook if you're interested in reading or seeing what we did yesterday. So basically what we're doing is and this is Allison, Director of Habitable Spaces, an amazing chef. We call her a chemist because she's got so many great combinations in her head. It's amazing. Hi Allison, how's it going?
Howdy, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for the culling lesson yesterday. That was amazing. And this is our chicken, right?
This is our chicken, yes.
Excellent. So give us a little rundown of what we're going to be doing today.
All right, well first I'm going to show you guys how to break apart a chicken. From the whole chicken, and then we're going to dredge it in flour. We're going to saute the chicken on the outside and then put it in the roasting pan and with Dijon wine and tarragon and onion and garlic. It's a super simple dish, and it'll be an easy way to impress all your friends. So
excellent.
Yeah.
All right, well let's get the ball rolling here.
Okay,
chicken Dijon tarragon.
First thing we're going to do is preheat the oven to 350. And then while that's preheating, you're going to start prepping your chicken. So I usually take the wings off first on my chicken. When you're doing any kind of butchery, you always want to follow the bones and let the body of the animal tell you where it wants to go. So removing chicken wings, you're going to hinge right at the joint. And just kind of gently pull. Let the chicken tell you where to cut.
And while she's doing that, just a little insight thing here. We've got our cameraman Shane, Deputy Director Shane, is going to be reading out any comments or questions you might have. So if you have anything to say or ask, we're going to experiment with trying to get those questions or comments to us so we can answer them live.
Great.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to remove, so we just removed the wings. Now we're going to remove the legs, and see, notice how I'm pulling up on the leg to separate it from the body. Gently cut through the skin. Keep pulling. And the muscle of the leg is going to separate right there.
Hey, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
We love Dallas.
All right. And then you're just gonna cut through one leg. I'll take off the other leg and then we'll separate the thighs. So again, you're gonna pull, cut through the skin, let the muscle separate from the breastbone. Notice how you're just cutting right through the skin. Then you finally separate the muscle right at the back.
Janine!
Woo! Hey, New York! Woo!
She's asking if you cook the wings differently from the other more meaty parts.
No, well these bulldozers of chicken, Janine, you should definitely watch the culling yesterday, but we talked a little bit about different kinds of chicken. Look at these massive beasts. So they are big enough to withstand what we're going to do to them, and they're delicious. All right, so now we're going to separate the breast. For this dish, I leave the bone in the breast because it keeps it from getting too dried out. I can show you how to remove the breast from the chicken, but you're going to have to tune into another cooking show. All right, can you see this? So we're gently cutting away that skin. This part you do kind of have to cut a little bit. You cut 3 little ribs right there. And then you move up into the shoulder area. Okay? Now we're going to leave that be, and we're going to let the body work for us. We're going to come along the other side here. And cut up. Okay, now.
All right, she's open and ready to go.
Pull it down.
Wow.
And you're going to separate the back that way.
Back fat. Bye.
Now, I don't use the back in this dish, but I always save the back. It's great for soups, stews, bone broth. So we'll set that aside over here on this platter. Now the next step is to separate the breast. So here's our breast. We're going to make a slice at the top so we know where we're going. Slice it all the way down. Okay, we're going to flip the breast over. And see, I've got that line there. And you can just work your knife through the bone, just like that.
Amazing.
Does it help if I do this, Shane, with the lighting on this? Or should I?
Yes, it does help if you block it.
Block it.
Yeah.
Okay. So since these chicken breasts are so humongous, I'm actually going to cut them in half. It's up to you whether you want to do that, but I find with this dish, you know, you can feed more people, and a lot of people don't want that much meat on their plate, so we're just going to cut that breast in half.
Filming that.
If it's a smaller chicken, you don't do this, but that way every piece is about the same size. Now we're going to separate the thigh from the leg. Pull the leg and the thigh apart so you can see the joint there. Work the knife. Just cut down.
Oh, jeez.
There we go. Same thing again. See the joint. Work the knife down. Whoop. Sometimes you can just crack the cartilage open if it's giving you trouble. All right. Now that we've got all our pieces, we're going to dredge everything in flour. So I'm going to take just regular flour, put it in our bowl there.
So dredging for our audio people means flouring it up, right?
Yeah, you're just going to dip it in the flour and give it a surface coat of flour. I usually don't measure this out, I just kind of do it by eye. So a little salt, little pepper. What the dredging does, I think it's a French technique. It's used a lot in French cooking. And what it does is it actually makes a kind of a nice creamy sauce. Since this is going to be cooked in the oven, that flour will separate from the chicken. And actually, do you mind handing me that platter? Sorry. I'll take this off and put it off camera.
All right.
All right, we're gonna
Use this?
we're just gonna put these on here. Oops. Okay. So as the chicken cooks, all that flour is gonna mix with the white wine that we're gonna put in there and the Dijon mustard, and it's gonna become a beautiful gravy. You can serve this dish. I like serving this dish with mashed potatoes, garlicky mashed potatoes, and some simple green like spinach or sauteed green beans with garlic.
And this is a French country dish. What is
Yeah.
that?
Well, a lot of cooking actually, a lot of French cooking comes from the country. French cooking comes from the farm. I mean, I know it's considered haute cuisine, but French cooking is actually incredibly simple. It's low maintenance, easy, not fussy.
Farm friendly.
Farm friendly, yes. All right. So there's our chicken ready.
Battered up.
Battered up. All right, now we are going to step over to the oven.
Let's go, y'all. Ooh.
Wash
Come
my
on
hands.
in. Come on in through the saloon door.
All right. You can use any kind of.
It's a good song though. That's fine. Laura's watching.
Ah, cool.
Hey, Laura. Hey, neighbors. Woo.
So, for this dish, I'm going to try to keep it as farm to table as possible. So I'm actually using some lard that we made from a cow we slaughtered last year. We can do another tutorial about making lard. It's a pretty simple process. You basically remove the fat from the animal and you just put it in a slow cooker for like 24 hours, and then the lard sinks to the bottom and all the impurities rise to the top, and you just scoop them off, and then you can store it indefinitely. It's a great way to fry foods, and because this lard is grass-fed from a grass-fed healthy animal, it actually is, the fats are higher in protein, believe it or not. So what we're going to do here is just brown all the sides. You're not trying to cook the chicken, you're just trying to brown it. All right. Now I'm going to let that brown a little bit, and we're going to step back over to our chopping board, and while we're waiting on that, we're going to mince up some garlic and some onion.
Mince it up.
That's right. My rule of thumb with garlic is as much as you can. But for tonight's dish, let's see, I'm going to use about 5 cloves. And actually, I kind of misspoke when I said mince, because this dish I like to slice the garlic so you can get a little taste of garlic when you're eating your chicken.
What is the difference in I can't figure out. So sometimes
Mincing and slicing?
Mincing and slicing. What is there a difference in flavor?
Yeah. So if you want a milder, more mixed in flavor, you'd mince it. Slicing the garlic, you'll actually be able to get a little bite with a slice of garlic, and you can actually taste the garlic as a kind of an important element in the dish.
Okay. Tip of the day, y'all.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Just gonna choop, 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 choop.
Some sizzling happening in the background.
Yes, sizzling chicken.
Ooh, I hear it sizzle.
When I cook, I like to do multitask. I like to multitask. That way you're not waiting on one thing to get done.
Yeah. It's challenging. And keeping the kitchen clean at the same time.
Yes.
Wow.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay.
That sizzle is what I heard when I dropped an egg on the ground today coming back from the coop. It's so hot here in Texas.
Oh my God, 105.
It's what, 105 today?
Suffering.
That's
Yes.
insane.
They are suffering.
Welcome to the blazing sun.
Yeah. You guys up north, be grateful for being up north.
I'm grateful for this sun, baby.
Well, I've been hiding out in the house as much as possible. Even the dogs were all just refusing to leave the house.
Poor animals.
Oh, God. All right, so we're going to slice this onion. I also, again, like to have a little flavor in the onion, so we're not going to mince it. We're going to cut it in half. Slice it. That way you get a little bit of onion going on.
Ooh, we're going to start crying.
Yeah.
I promised myself I was going to cry.
So emotional.
Oh.
All right. Let me get all of these things out of the way.
Looking
Okay.
good.
Now, yeah, we're going to...
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey!
How are you doing, Marion? Marion, Texas, y'all.
All right.
Rained 3 times today in New York and then got sunny in between, Janine says.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. New York is really rainy right now.
Wow.
Tropical storm.
All right, while we're waiting on our chicken, because that's going to take a little while.
Okay. Did you flip them? You did. I was just, yeah, okay.
She flipped those bitches.
They didn't quite brown as much as I would like. I usually like to get them a little bit crispy on the outside, so
Okay.
we'll let them brown more. I've got my Dijon mustard here, which I didn't make. I bought at the store. But Dijon mustard, the only difference is it's mustard made with white wine, and so you've already got the wine in there. So this is about 4 tablespoons of mustard.
Kind of
Yep.
right.
And
Like-
then I've got tarragon. And for those of you who don't know what tarragon is, it's an amazing herb. It's kind of a licoricey smell. It's very mild, beautiful herb, and it just goes so well with the Dijon mustard. So we're gonna just take the leaves off of these stems.
And you grew this on your garden here?
Yes, I grew this in our garden. It's a very easy herb to grow. If you are living in a city, you can grow it on your windowsill. It's fragrant, and it makes these beautiful little yellow flowers, which are super cute and you can eat. You smell that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh,
So
yeah,
good,
you
doesn't
can
it?
really smell that licorice. Huh?
Yeah. It's
Reminds me
lovely.
of India.
So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sprigs here. And just gonna add this to the mustard. All right, I can hear our chicken.
It's a sizzling.
Our chicken is sizzling. So while our chicken sizzles, we're gonna go ahead and get the roast pan ready. And I might swap places with you.
All right. Toasty dough.
Yes. So this is another thing that I've made. You can buy it, but it's so easy to make. You should make it. Can you see this? This is bone broth. This is also from that cow that we slaughtered. Bone broth is so good for you, and it's so easy to make. All you do is chuck the bones in a pot and boil them for 24 hours, and you got bone broth.
And them bones were big.
Oh, yes.
They got a saw outside, and they had to saw them in half for this, right? Is that what you saw them
So they
for?
would fit in the pan, yes.
Crazy
sir.
big. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shane is showing it. There's the saw.
There's the saw. All right, so we're gonna do 2 cups of bone broth. You can also use chicken bone broth. I just happen to have this ready, so that's what we're using. I have to flip that chicken in a minute.
Gotta flip those bitches.
Flip those bitches. Okay. 2 cups of bone broth, and let me just step over here quickly.
Toasty dough. Buffalo girls go brown the outside.
Oh yeah, they're starting to brown up a little.
Gorgeous.
So what this browning does is it seals the outside of the meat, and by sealing the outside of the meat, you're able to get a more tender interior because it actually takes longer to cook the meat. So the interior doesn't lose its moisture, and it can take its time cooking.
Seals it.
That's right.
Seals the deal.
Now, there are a lot of different things you can do to add creaminess since we have goats here and we make goat milk yogurt.
So good. And ice cream.
Yes, I am going to just add 4 tablespoons of goat milk yogurt to this. It'll just add a creaminess to the chicken, and the zest from the yogurt interacts really nicely with the Dijon mustard. Create a zingy, flavorful treat.
And for those at home who don't have goat milk, they just substitute with what? Greek yogurt?
Yes, you can just substitute with a plain Greek yogurt.
Goat peons if they have goat
Well,
milk.
yes, and if you live in New
Or
York,
yogurt.
if you live in New York, they do make mini Nigerian goats that you could probably fit in a studio apartment for sure.
Are they milking goats?
They are.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right.
I want a mini goat.
You can keep it on your fire escape, right? Okay, now comes the crucial part. Wine, white wine.
Can you talk like Julia Childs while you do this?
Well, first I have to have a glass of white wine. Okay, we're gonna do 2 cups of white wine. And since I'm going to talk like Julia Childs, I'm gonna drink some white wine too.
Drink.
Ah, perfect.
2 Julia.
Yeah. All right, so that's our broth almost ready. Now we're gonna add our Dijon and tarragon in there. Let me get a spatula.
Riri's watching.
Who is?
Yay!
Anna Marie.
Anna Marie. Woo! Hey, San Antonio.
Anna and Bam.
Anna and Bam.
All right, so we'll mix that around. So far, just to recap what we've got in our pan right here is bone broth, white wine, 2 cups of white wine, about 4 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, tarragon, and Greek or goat yogurt, 4 tablespoons of goat yogurt.
Or Greek, depending on. Yeah.
We're just gonna go ahead and throw our onions in and our garlic. And see how easy this is? I love French cooking. It's just toss it in the pan and go. Although I'm not a custard maker, so I don't know. There's all kinds of fancy things you can do. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of that Himalayan salt. Grind that across the top.
Salt.
Pepper. Okay, now I think we are about ready. Yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm going to move this pan over here and drop these in. Thank you. Cameraman doing extracurricular work.
Yeah. Multitasking,
Yes.
baby.
Okay, so that's about what you want. Just a nice golden brown coating there. Oops, found a little bit.
Marty's watching.
Yay! Hi,
Marty, woo! Thanks for the shooting tips, Marty.
Marty! All right. So if you don't have lard in your pantry, which you might not, you can just use sunflower oil or some high heat oil to saute these with. And let's go ahead and pour just a little bit more yogurt in there. Why not?
Go-gurt.
Yogurt. Thicken it up a little.
That looks so good.
Yeah. Honestly, the mixing bowl was really just for the show. I normally just chuck it all. Wah! I normally just chuck it all in and
We might get a fire too.
stick it in the oven.
Well, you might be doing fireman duty too while you're shooting, Shane. Multitasking. Shane's in the.
We're not gonna call this.
Department.
We're not gonna call this one in.
I'm gonna call this one.
If we can get it under control.
All right, we're just waiting on that last leg.
Come on, leg. Come on, leg. Sizzle more. Sizzle more.
Nice. Hi, Gus.
Good. Gus is in the hit
Oh, man.
zone.
Yeah, we're hoping to have a 50th birthday out here, but who knows if COVID will let us. We shall see. Okay, done with that. There we go. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful already?
Wow. Goat yogurt based.
And then we put a lid on it.
Put a lid on
And
it.
stick it in our preheated oven that's been preheated to 350. Yep. Now, I usually leave it in there for about an hour, but I would go ahead and check on your chicken at about 30 minutes and just see how it's doing. Move it around a little. And then let it simmer more. You can turn it down as well. The longer it cooks, the thicker the broth will be. And you get a nice thick gravy with the chicken. So, yeah.
All
There
right,
you
is
go.
that it?
That's
That's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of recap, these are our first broadcasts. We're doing kind of tech experiment and dress rehearsals, see what works and what doesn't work. If you have any comments, please leave them somewhere with us in the thread below. So, basically, what we did is we culled the chicken outside yesterday in preparation for this. We put the chicken in the refrigerator for 24 hours,
Yep.
so let it chill for 24. And then we came in here to make some Dijon Tarragon
Yes.
chicken.
And next time we make it, you're gonna make it, right?
No promises there. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We're in a really exciting
Yeah.
start. Look for our podcast, Tripping with Trip at Habitable Spaces, probably toward the end of August. Very DIY, very quarantine geared, and I think a lot of people are going to be very receptive to most of the interviews we've got coming up. It's very exciting. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Come